and she kept glancing at her phone between messages. During lunch, I checked my email and found one from the principal asking me to take down the video immediately due to cyberbullying concerns. I was heading to my car after school when Ms. Thompson appeared, blocking my path. Her hands shook as she held up her phone. I pulled out my own phone and started live streaming. She stepped closer, her voice rising. She claimed I was ruining her reputation, that entitled students always tried to destroy good teachers. The words tumbled out faster as more students gathered to watch. My phone buzzed with a text from Emma. Her mom had seen the video. Emma's mom was on the school board, and she wanted to meet with me. The message included her number and a simple, "Call me when you can." Ms. Thompson saw me looking at my phone and demanded I delete the video before tomorrow's school board meeting. Her voice cracked on the word meeting. She knew what this could mean. That evening, I sat at my desk staring at the delete button. The video had reached 200,000 views. Stories poured into my DMS from students across the country. But I also had 17 missed calls from a number I didn't recognize. I decided to leave it up. Within an hour, an email arrived from someone claiming to be Ms. Thompson's lawyer friend. The subject line threatened legal action for defamation. The email used big words to sound scary, but I noticed it came from a Gmail account, not a law firm. The next morning, I arrived early to retrieve my notebook from Ms. Thompson's classroom. The security office was empty, but the door was cracked open. Through the gap, I saw Ms. Thompson at the computer, clicking through files. She was deleting footage from the past month, including all those lunch detentions where she'd watched me write. I stepped into the doorway. She spun around, her face going pale. The panic in her eyes told me everything. She knew I'd caught her destroying evidence. By lunch, my mom had received 3 calls from other parents. Ms. Thompson was calling everyone, claiming I had doctored the evidence, that I was a troubled student who couldn't accept criticism. One parent said their daughter was considering switching out of AP history because of the drama. Tommy found me after school. His dad had run my handwriting samples through font analysis software at his design firm. The results showed perfect consistency across all the years. He handed me a folder with the printouts, scientific proof that my handwriting had developed naturally over time. That evening, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. It was Ms. Thompson's teaching assistant. She wanted to talk but was scared of losing her job. We agreed to meet at the coffee shop downtown. Jay picked me up for our Friday date looking uncomfortable. His parents had seen the video and thought I should just let it go. He kept saying it wasn't worth the trouble, that Ms. Thompson would retire soon anyway. When I asked whose side he was on, he stared at his steering wheel. I spent Saturday afternoon digging through Rate My Teacher reviews. Ms. Thompson's profile went back 15 years. The pattern was obvious. Every few years, comments appeared about unfair grading, especially regarding handwriting. One review from her previous school mentioned a student losing a scholarship over similar accusations. Ms. Thompson scheduled mandatory parent conferences for the following week. The email emphasized that attendance was required for any student with grade disputes. She was trying to control the narrative, to get parents alone where she could spin her version. Monday morning, I discovered my college recommendation letter from Mr. Rodriguez had mysteriously vanished from the guidance office system. The secretary said there must have been a computer glitch, but her eyes wouldn't meet mine. I waited outside the vice principal's office for an hour. When Mrs. Chen finally saw me, she dismissed everything as a personality conflict. She mentioned that she and Ms. Thompson had been friends for years, even pulled up photos from their wine night last month on her phone. The message was clear. That night, I created a fake social media account and requested to join the Educators Against AI group Ms. Thompson belonged to. Within hours, I was in. Her posts from the previous school were still there. She bragged about catching wealthy cheaters and complained about entitled students who thought money could buy them grades. Every post dripped with resentment toward anyone she saw as privileged. The English department group chat leaked the next day. Screenshots showed teachers discussing how Ms. Thompson graded handwriting instead of content. Mr. Williams had noticed she gave lower scores to essays with messier writing, regardless of the actual arguments. Ms. Garcia mentioned that she'd started warning her students to write neatly for history class. I started tracking which students Ms. Thompson targeted. The pattern became obvious. First-generation college students, kids who qualified for free lunch, anyone whose parents worked multiple jobs. She went after the ones who needed scholarships, who couldn't afford to fail a class. The teaching assistant finally messaged me directly. She'd been documenting Ms. Thompson's grading for weeks. Photos of essays with identical content but different handwriting styles, graded completely differently. She was building her own file but was terrified of retaliation. 3 more students reached out privately after seeing the video. Each had similar stories. Accusations of cheating based on handwriting, forced to redo assignments, grades tanked for no reason. They'd been too scared to speak up before. Ms. Thompson tried to implement a no phones policy in her classroom. The other history teachers blocked it immediately. They knew what she was trying to hide. The department was fracturing and everyone could see it. Friday afternoon, I was buying lunch when the cafeteria worker pulled me aside.